Hello, Phillips assistants. My name is Gabriel Galvez, and I'll be presenting to you today Team Inclusion Collusion, consisting of Nico, Chris, Kevin, Vivian, and of course myself. And we'll be going over the problem that arose in 2015, that being TJX being listed as one of 50 companies that own their employees a raise. So why is the CEO to employee margin so high, and what can we do about it? Well, today our team has formulated possible answers that we'll be recommending today.
So the 1536 pay ratio from the initial article is determined by using CEO salary divided by the median employee salary. Now, this employee salary is inaccurate because it takes the salary of a part-time worker. Now, assuming the CEO works at least 40 hours a week, it'll be smarter to compare it with a full-time employee. So after my calculations, the pay ratio goes down to 1,005 to 1. Thank you.
One of our options that we offer is to liquidate underperforming stores. This is a very viable option, especially now given the pandemic and how retail stores overall are just really struggling at the moment. So just getting rid of the underperforming ones and then using that leftover capital to revamp and double down on online market. Just because product digitalization is so important right now, establishing a new web development team would kickstart that project, and that would be completely in-house. And obviously web developers make a significant amount of more money than a everyday retail worker, part-time retail worker. So that would increase our median income, thus helping out our ratio. Other side of that is to outsource our coding and basically do what our competition does and exclude the lower level labor to improve our ratio. The flip side of that is that we could reinvest the extra capital, and that would directly go into our retail workers' wages. And that's pretty simple. That would increase the median income.
So as we previously stated, our starting ratio is 15.96. If you go into the numbers of how that wage actually breaks down, it ends up being an employee that's working 25 hours a week at $9 an hour. Obviously comparing that to a CEO, which at minimum would be working 40 hours a week, that comparison just really shouldn't be drawn together and put in the same pool. But if you look at it now, working full-time as an employee, $9 an hour, that ratio drops by over 500 points. You're at 1,005 to 1. If we continue down this line, following the solutions that we posed, only looking at employees that have worked at the company for 6 months or longer, they get a pay raise by $1 going from $9 to $10 an hour. That drops the ratio by another 100 points. We're now at 905. Now, when it comes to liquidating the lowest 10% of performing stores, we can then reinvest those wages directly into the remaining 90% wage employees. That'll increase the wage yet again by another $1. Assuming 40 hours a week at $11, that would leave us with a ratio of 822. And when you compare that to the initial ratio of 15.96 to 1, that's a decrease by over 51.5%.
So, why is the ratio at TJX significantly higher between a CEO and an employee? This is because we're comparing a CEO to a part-time employee that works roughly around 25 hours a week, when really we should be comparing a CEO to a full-time employee that works 40 hours or more. This would be a much more fair method of measure, and this would also lower the ratio rate. As chairman, we recommend liquidating low-performing stores, reinvesting back into our online teams of marketing, web services, and outsourcing coding. For our action plan, we would want to redefine our method of measure for our ratios. And one last thing, we would like to thank you guys for the opportunity to tackle on this amazing case study.